She switched off the alarm and continued to watch. The creature reappeared, gliding silently towards the gate. With an unnatural ease, it reached through the bars and unlatched them. Clara froze, her mind racing with terrifying thoughts. What was this thing? What did it want? Panic surged through her. Clara, a young woman of 21, worked in a busy city office. To escape the daily grind, she'd often head to her charming cottage at the edge of a village. It nestled right next to the woods. It used to be her haven, a place to unwind and relax. But one weekend getaway changed everything. One weekend, after a particularly tough week, Clara decided to head to the cottage for some peace and quiet. She packed her things, hopped in the car, and drove to her little cottage in the village. She arrived quite late, feeling very tired from the journey. Wanting a good night's sleep, Clara went straight to bed and quickly fell asleep. In the middle of the night, she was suddenly woken up by the loud sound of her car alarm. Peeking through the window, she saw nothing unusual. She grabbed her keys and turned off the alarm. Just as she settled back down, the alarm blared again. Annoyed, she turned it off once more. 5 minutes later, it started all over again. This time, curiosity got the better of her. What was going on? Was someone playing a prank? She turned off the alarm again, but stayed by the window, watching carefully. As the moon cast its silvery light, she spotted a dark shape emerge from the bushes and creep towards her car. It was tall, skinny, and completely black. The figure reached out with long, thin arms and thumped on her car. The alarm shrieked, and in a flash, the shadowy figure darted back into the bushes. Fear prickled Clara's skin. She switched off the alarm and continued to watch. The creature reappeared, gliding silently towards the gate. With an unnatural ease, it reached through the bars and unlatched them. Clara froze, her mind racing with terrifying thoughts. What was this thing? What did it want? Panic surged through her. She was trembling from head to toe, her mouth parched and her heart pounding like a drum. Finally, she snapped out of her daze and bolted downstairs, searching for something, anything, to defend herself. Just as she reached for the light switch, she stopped dead in her tracks. The dark figure was pressed against the window, peering inside. Instinctively, Clara ducked behind the sofa, peeking out cautiously. It dawned on her. The car alarm was a trick, a way to lure her out of the house. She couldn't tear her eyes away from the creature's grotesque face. Its skin was ashen gray and creased with wrinkles. Small, beady eyes glowed an inky black. Where a nose should have been, there were just 2 gaping holes. A row of sharp yellow teeth. Its ragged breaths misted up the window. There was no way this thing was leaving. After a tense standoff, she heard a scraping sound as it shuffled towards the front door. She watched in horror as it tried to shove its fingers through the gap underneath. The doorknob rattled violently. Then, a terrifying sound filled the air, a guttural growl, unlike anything human. It sounded like a wild beast tearing at its prey. Clara knew if the creature hurt her, it wouldn't stop until it got inside. She huddled deeper into the shadows, tears streaming down her face, willing herself to be silent. Her heart hammered in her ears, and she couldn't stop shaking. The only thing she could do was wait for this nightmare to end. She didn't know how much time passed, but eventually she must have drifted off to sleep. When she awoke, the creature was gone. The door remained shut. Everything seemed normal. Relief washed over her in waves. She raced upstairs and threw open the curtains. Daylight filled the room, and there was no sign of the creature. Taking a deep breath, she grabbed her keys and sprinted out the door, leaving her belongings behind. She jumped into her car, locked the doors, and sped away from the village as fast as her car would go. She didn't stop driving until she reached the safety of her city apartment. Back in her familiar surroundings, she turned on the television. A news report sent shivers down her spine. 2 young women had been found dead in the village. Their bodies... Well, let's just say Clara knew the creature had found what it was looking for.